Hi everyone, this is Young Lee from Smart Art by Young Lee. Today I'm going to continue with this drawing. And this drawing is about shading techniques that makes the drawing soften and loosen, so it gives kind of impressive quality and kind of a painting-like drawing, painting-like effect. I made a tutorial video about shading. It would help to know about the shading and shading techniques. Now I'm going to talk about the sticking and sliding lines. In this video, there are more explanations, more about the shading lines. In my experience, during the entire years practiced, I could develop some techniques which I actually didn't know that was a technique. There are sticking lines and shading lines. Sticking lines, especially for dark area, that you really press into the paper, that the lines can stick in the paper. I mean, stick in the paper, it's just makes a very strong lines. It could be these kind of lines. These are sticking lines, so it emphasizes the form, especially in the darkness. And these sticking lines indicates edges, and it makes the whole dark flow. So here is dark flow, and we need to make some sticking dark lines. The sliding lines are used for shading or the middle tones, and in the lighter part is also used the sliding lines. Sliding lines are important to make the dark area. So if the lines are too less, the density is too low, and it gives a solidness. It should be solid enough at the end of the process. For that, I repeat to shade as many as possible. If you feel confident enough and also the area is dark enough, you can really use speedy lines so that it will fill with the desired darkness and desired density. I want to tell you about volume and highlight. Here and here as well, and here is very light, so it indicates the light source is on the right, obviously, and here this part she get the most light, and here as well, and this part is slightly dark, so it goes away to the other side and also here. So it's like when we could give the number, here could be 0, and here could be 1, and also 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. And also here shouldn't be too much dark, so that this head make nice volume with some reflections light. Especially you will see here on her neck, the back neck, she gets a lot of reflections light. This highlight goes further, and here is extremely also bright, and also here, and her underneath the eye, and here on her chest she also gets a lot of light. So yeah, that would be the highlight here. So we have to keep it very light. Also, to make the drawing loosen and soften, I would avoid sharp edges. That means, for example, here she has a dark eyebrow because she gets shadow here because her eyes are deep. So her eyes are in the darkness, except some part of eyelids her eyebrow does have different shade. So here, because the eyebrow bone is not like this, but it makes kind of this. So the darkness goes just like this. Here she gets some more light. So not a sudden and very sharp edges that makes the drawing very artificial. And also the upper eyelid is not the same, but here you can see I just left a small part of the eyelid like a very light highlight. This highlight continues to here, very small part. Sometimes it's better you don't do that much, but it comes naturally inside of the darkness. It depends on the situation, of course. In this case, this works pretty well because also the reference photo doesn't have a very sharp edges. It's a little bit blurred. In this case, you also can make it blurry, but with confidence. It means you know what you are doing in this darkness. The eyebrow bone is making the edge like this. So here could be the middle part of the darkness. So the bone make like this, and here is the middle part, and here is the higher part. So here will be less dark than the inside of the eye hole. This make this structure a bit rounded. So please don't make it too dark. So this is her eyebrow hair. Give some nice darkness, and very dark flow is coming like this. And here, this part is the middle tone. So you can see that here is the side forehead, and also frontal face, and side face, but more side face. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's a kind of mask. There's not sudden edge between the frontal face and the side face. As you probably noticed, I use sticking lines and sliding lines, both rotationally. So some part where I have to make a foam, then I use sticking lines, and rather shading lines when I have to feel the tone. Something like this. This is now sliding lines. I have to feel some tone here with the lines, then I use the sliding lines. And like this is sticking lines that gives a form of hair strain here in this case. And again, sliding lines. This is sticking lines because it's on the part of very strong dark flow. Here now I need to fill the lines and make a dark. And these would be then the sliding lines. Inside of the darkness, there is still a shadow of the ear. Lobule. She has lightly open mouth. It should look that the mouth is open by the size of the lip and the position of both upper and the lower lip. So this is also sliding lines. Make it dense. So here is again sticking lines. I decided to make the background darker to make it easier, because she gets a lot of light on her left side of the face. So I couldn't film between now and before. It wasn't recorded. Now I can explain some points that I actually already have made to make the drawing very impressive and loosen and soften. You can mix the sticking lines and the shading lines in a proper way. So some part you have a more like a sticking lines that gives obvious form making of a feature, but then it shouldn't be very sharp. We should avoid very sharp edge, so it gives a more rich, a very rich details and rich tonalities, so you can give really various tones that is able to make your drawing really like an impressionist painting. Always leave the highlight really like the paper itself, so in this way you don't have to use the white pencil necessarily. But of course you can use the white pencil to give the highlight more effectively. I personally don't use this that much. Maybe on some toned paper, then I sometimes use the white pencil. But if you leave the highlight like this, then probably you don't need and yeah, you can see the highlights here and here. She gets light from the light source in front of her face. She has the light source, so you can really feel the light. Also maintain the dark flow really properly, and you can really let the viewer feel the light in your drawing. I hope you could enjoy my video. We will meet in another video. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day. Bye!